Greetings, beloved tribe. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I am Magdalena Freedom Rod, and today I have the most special guest of all time interviewing my beautiful daughter, Lula.
Hello.
Welcome, Lula. This is a big deal right now because this lovely young lady right here has been my why. She is the reason that I started my online business and decided to live a life of freedom on all levels because there was a time in my life when I didn't have all the freedoms. Now I do, but there was a time that I didn't. And it was really important to me to have all the freedom so that I could take care of her properly and feel like I was a good mother. If any of you have ever watched one of my master classes or heard me talk about my business, you've probably heard some of my stories where I've spoken about Lula. Just about 5 years ago, we were here in India. We're coming to you from India today. We're in Goa. And there was a moment when she sent me a message asking me for grocery money. And when she was living in New York City on her own, just going out on her own and struggling and having a hard time, said, "Mom, can you send me some money for food?" And I was like, "Oh shit, no, I can't." And then that was a line in the sand moment for me where I realized that this will not stand. This lifestyle that I'm living is not enough. There is not enough financial freedom happening. Sorry, there's a plane going by. I don't know if that's too loud. So here we are now, circling back 5 years later in the same place, but as both of us, very different people than we were then. So this is not about me. This is about Lula. We're going to talk to Lula today and learn why she's here. And we're going to just have a little chat. And one more thing that I want to say is that, back then I didn't have $50 to send her for grocery money. And now we're traveling in India together for 3 months. And we have another 3 months of traveling ahead of us all around Asia. We're going to Indonesia. We're going to Japan. We got big plans. And so my life has shifted dramatically since I adopted the freedom business model. And that's what we're going to be talking about today and how everybody's lives can change. So Lula has decided to also join the freedom business model and start her own online business. So I want to talk about that. What is your reason for this, my love?
Well, like you said, when I was living in New York, I was living in New York for 6 years, from when I was 18 until 25. And all throughout that time, I was really struggling living there, working in food service, waiting tables. It was just really hard to pay my rent. It was really hard to be stable and have time and energy for myself and for creative endeavors and doing what I wanted to do with my life. And I felt that I spent all my time working and stressing about money and stressing about making rent. And I still felt broke all the time. And when you invited me to come travel in India with you, I had reached a breaking point. I was living with different roommates over and over because I couldn't afford my own place. And I had had a lot of bad experiences, just one after another. And I was going to have to move again. And I really was at my limit with instability and being broke and just spending all my time working. And when you invited me to India, it was like, okay, maybe I don't have to live this way forever. Maybe there's a better way. Maybe I can try it her way for a while and see how that goes for me. And I packed up all my things. They're all in storage and just came on this trip for 6 months. I don't have an apartment. I don't have a job to go back to. I'm just being nomadic and seeing where this takes me and seeing where I end up at the end of it. And I'm very excited about it because I want to live a life where I can travel wherever I want and I can have time basically just to create art. That's my goal in life. That's my dream, is to be an artist. And I have a lot of things that I want to create. And I need time and I need money and stability to do that. So that's my biggest reason, is to have time freedom and location freedom and energy for myself and stability in order to create the things I want to create in my life. And I want that for other artists my age as well. I want to bring that into other people's lives and show them that they don't have to work in food service or work in an office or in a job they don't like, or working long crazy hours on set and stuff. Like, there's a better way, and I want to come into that for myself, and I want that for other people as well. And I'm already just a few weeks in, seeing how much of a difference it makes, because my workday is nowhere near the amount of stress and energy and time that it was before. And it gives me so much more energy and time for myself and time to better myself. And just a lot more creative energy.
Yeah.
So,
what does your workday look like now?
well, considering that I can work as much or as little as I want to, I can invest as much time in the business as I feel like doing per day, per week. So what I've scheduled for myself on a daily basis is I work 3 hours a day on my business. I work on my personal branding. I watch trainings. I do inner work. And it's like around 3 hours a day, sometimes less. Sometimes we take a day off because there's something we want to go do. And, then it's a 1 hour work day, and we spend all of our day out and having fun and creating content and working while we're doing what we want to be doing. It's not like you have to work or you get to be out doing whatever you want to be doing. You can do both at the same time. So it either looks like going out and swimming in the sea and creating content and having fun and going to dances and working at the same time by creating content, or sitting down for 3 hours a day and working, and then I have the rest of the day to do whatever I want to do and explore India.
Yeah. And where are you working? Are you doing that hour and a half train commute to the cafe to work?
No. I did have my last job I had in Brooklyn. I was commuting an hour and a half to work, so it was a total of round trip per day. It was 3 hours of commuting on the subway. And now I can basically just sit up and in bed and work from my laptop. I can come out and sit in the hammock and work on my phone. Like, it's wherever I want to be. If I want to be at a cafe, if I want to be home, if I want to be on the beach, I can work from any of those places. So that's pretty amazing.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Freedom business model. It's rad.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. I think there's probably a lot of people that you're inspiring with this right now, because I know that there's a lot of people out there suffering, working jobs that they don't enjoy, that aren't really getting them ahead, that are working, just living paycheck to paycheck in the rat race, right? Like you were. And I know that you were in a lot of pain with a lot of that, and, suffering, like when you told stories about, going into the bathroom and wiping away your tears before you came out to greet customers. That's like, as a mother, that's like so heartbreaking, especially when I know a better way. So I'm really grateful that you've opened up to this pathway of the freedom business model, because it really does liberate us and set us free. I would love if you could share a little bit about like the past and like maybe your high school as an example, or whatever other memories you have of where we were as I raised you. So I raised Lula as a single mother and was pretty much always struggling financially. But are there any specific memories, like if we can contrast, like where we were then based compared to where we are now?
Yeah. So it's just, there was just a lot of scarcity growing up. Either you were working in the fashion industry and you were making a lot of money, but you were busy. Well, I mean, a lot busy 24 hours a day almost. And I wasn't getting to see you a lot. Either you were doing that and you were working your whole life away, or you were trying to find a better way. And every day it was, we don't have money for that. Stress about money, stress about bills. Every day it was this constant stress about money. And I remember growing up that we bought all of our clothes at Goodwill, which is not really a bad thing. I actually love thrifting, but we didn't have money for the things that we wanted, for new things or for things for fun. Even some necessities sometimes we didn't have money for. Mm-hmm. And the biggest thing that comes to mind is our car. So we had a 1998 Corolla. And
same year as you.
Yeah, same year as I was born. And it was just falling apart like you would drive me to school in that car, and other kids would be, it was a boarding school, so other kids would be coming in their Porsches and stuff, and I'm just there with my mom driving me to school in our 98 Corolla on my scholarship, like feeling very out of place. And
having to roll down the window to reach out.
This is what I'm getting at, is that there were so many problems, and it just was such a big representation of where we were at financially. There were so many problems with this car, like the inside driver's door handle, for example, did not work. And so what we would do is roll down the window and pull the outside door handle every time we got out of the car. But then one day I went to open the door and the door handle just broke off. So we put zip ties on the outside of the door. So we would roll down the window, pull the zip ties, roll the window back up every single time we got out of the car. And
oh my God,
it was just, there was, I think, no AC in the car. There were perks. We had a tape player, but like
tape player.
Yeah, and a sunroof in the car.
That's true, we did.
But it was just a really big representation of where we were at financially, because it was falling apart, and it probably wasn't that safe to drive, honestly.
Yeah. And now
you are funding a whole trip for us to come to India. I don't have savings. Like, you are bringing us both through India, accommodation, travel, whatever we want, whatever we feel like. If we want to indulge in something, if we want to buy an $80 swimsuit, like, now, like, I've seen you reach this point financially where you're not working long, hard hours, and you're not driving yourself crazy with work, but we are very comfortable, and I've never seen you be that financially abundant where we have this much comfort. So it's a really big difference.
Yeah, from surviving to thriving.
Yeah, exactly.
And what were your thoughts when I started my online business?
I was definitely skeptical. At first I was skeptical because you told me about the business model, and I was like, that sounds fishy. Are you getting actual checks from this company? Like, are you sure that's gonna work? How much did you invest? Are you getting checks back? Like, I was very...
Is it a scam?
Is it a scam? That was my biggest question. Is it a scam? Because you are very kind-hearted and you see the good in everyone, which can sometimes be a little bit of naivety. But like, now seeing how much money you made just last year and seeing actually money rolling in, like today I'm like getting ready for the day, whatever, and I hear her outside on our balcony. I just had 10 checks come into my account at 22:22, like at the time of day, and I was like, hell, like, who are you? Like, what is happening? And there actually is, like, money is coming in, like, you have it in your account, so it's real.
Yeah.
And I see everyone else in your community, in your team, and they're all here and they're all doing it, so it's definitely real. But it's like, it sounds too good to be true at first, and it's crazy that it is true.
That's it. Exactly.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's it. I know it seems too good to be true, but it's fucking amazing that it is true, because this is what we talk about. You know, it's the new paradigm of conscious business online. So it's like, old paradigm, is, paycheck to paycheck, hustle, all of that. Like, I totally reject hustle culture. And especially now that I have finally cracked the code and figured out how to make money online and have that financial freedom, it couldn't be more real. I mean, we are real people. This is a real thing. And just one last question for you, Lula. The people that you are called to serve in your business, because a lot of our business, there are sales involved, but we talk a lot about sales actually equals service. Like, we're here in service to those who are desiring more freedom in their life, whether it's time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, or inner freedom, or all of them. So we're here to serve people that are seeking more of some kind of freedom. And so it's really important for those of us who choose this path to decide who it is that we're here to serve, because it's a service-based business model. Who are we going to support and help and empower with this? Because we also put our energy in, right? We help people. We become mentors. We learn the ropes first, and then we mentor others. So who is it that you're here to serve?
I would really just say, I don't want to say anyone, but specifically, I mean, people my age, I guess, like people in their 20s, early 30s, who are like true artists, who have something to really bring to the table, who really have something to show and something to bring to the world, and they don't have the freedom or the money to do it.
Mhm.
Like, I have friends back in New York who are very uniquely talented, and they spend all their time working and all their time paying their rent and just stressed. And that was me too. Like, when I was working in coffee shops or waiting tables every day, I would literally sometimes come to work crying because I wished that I could just live as an artist and just support myself and make films and make whatever I want to make and spend the day out shooting, doing photography, and not have to, you know, struggle so much just to pay rent, just to pay bills, especially in America. It's really hard to live. We don't have healthcare. We don't have affordable rent, affordable housing. Like, it's a nightmare trying to support yourself in that country. And so I would just say anyone who feels that they have more to themselves than working in food service or working in an office, something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Even working in the art industry sometimes can be unfulfilling and draining. So
The creative people.
Yes, the creatives. I want to give the creatives, especially alternative goth people, like, you're my people. I love you. Anyone who is creative and
Right.
wants to show their talents and wants the freedom to do that, I'm here for you. I want you to come in.
Awesome. And yeah, this is a good point too. Is like, really anybody can do this. This can be for single moms. This can be for creative goth people. This can be for yogis. This can be for anyone can actually do this. You don't need any experience. You don't need any training. What you need is willingness. You need willingness to show up for yourself. You need willingness to do the inner work, because wealth is an inside job. It's not something that comes from outside. We do have a proven winning strategy for you to make money, but if you're not also willing to do the inner work, it's actually not going to stick. It's not going to work. So you have to be willing to do the inner work. You have to be willing to show up for yourself. You have to be willing to invest in yourself. Time, a little bit of resources, but more time and just the willingness. Like, willingness is the key word right there. And if you can show up consistently, investing in yourself, once you catch the vision and you catch your yes, that this can be for you, your commitment to make it happen and not giving up until you reach that point of that freedom for yourself. And like, really anybody can do it. And I just love that I get to support my daughter now with this path. Like, first, I filled up my own cup. Now it's overflowing. We are thriving. We are in abundance. And now I get to pay it forward to her, which is the most fulfilling thing, like, of my entire life. I've already have paid this forward to, many hundreds of people already whose lives have been shifted and changed because I said yes, because I went first. But to be able to share it with her now is like really the creme de la creme. It's like the cherry on top. It's the biggest bonus, and it's the most fulfilling thing ever, because as I said, I did this. My yes was always about being able to support her better. So now I'm really able to support her better, but also to help her get started launching her own online business so that she can be abundant and sovereign and free, which is really the goal for all people. So I love that you want to support the artists to be able to get their art out there, to not be having to be living in hustle culture and doing jobs that are like draining their soul, like soul sucking jobs.
Yeah,
like
literally.
we've all been there, right? What if you could just be free and just work on your own time and actually get paid to be yourself and travel the world if you choose to, or create art if you choose to, or just do yoga all day if you choose to, whatever it is, whoever you are, this is for you. This is for anybody who wants more freedom, and whatever your dream is for your life. And, maybe you've been in a job so long that you don't even know who you are anymore. And it's time to come back to yourself, and you get to embrace this journey as it's exactly what it is. It's like a self-development journey with a compensation plan. You can actually get paid to become the best next level version of yourself. And I don't know, I just can't think of anything better. I'm so grateful.
Me too.
That's it. Thanks for being here with us. We'll see you all on the inside. So much love. Ciao from India.